We turn now to a major story developing in the U.S. People in Florida are being warned tonight that Hurricane Milton is a life or death storm. The massive hurricane is roaring across the Gulf of Mexico towards Florida right now, with millions of people scrambling to get to safety. Al Sweeney is following the story tonight and joins us live with the latest. Good evening, Al.
Hi there, Emily. Well, two significant features of this hurricane. It's expected to be huge when it hits land, and it's approaching as Florida is still cleaning up from Hurricane Helene, making things a lot worse. After slamming into Mexico with floods and high winds, Milton is a Category 5 hurricane, expected to hit the Florida coast tomorrow night or Thursday morning. The storm is so powerful, a crew of hurricane hunters got a rough ride when they flew in for a look. On land in Florida, people are preparing for winds of around 300 kilometers an hour, as much as a foot of rain, and a storm surge of up to 15 feet in low-lying areas.
If you're in the surge area, and that's 10 to 15 feet of storm surge that you could potentially see, it's if not impossible, difficult if not impossible to survive that.
I've directed my team to do everything they can to save lives and help communities before, during, and after this hurricane.
Millions of people have been told to evacuate, with warnings from the president down to local mayors about what could be the worst storm in 100 years for some areas.
If you choose to stay in one of those evacuation areas, you're going to die.
I'll reemphasize in the strongest terms possible. This is an incredibly powerful storm, and we all need to take it seriously.
The storm's growth was overwhelming for meteorologist John Morales.
It has dropped 50 millibars in 10 hours. I apologize. This is just horrific.
Right now, forecasters can't say exactly where the center of the hurricane will hit, but they're predicting flooding along almost all of Florida's Gulf Coast. And Milton is looming just 2 weeks after the devastation of Hurricane Helene, with debris piled up on the streets.
We hauled close to 100 tons of debris just yesterday alone.
If the winds come, those things are going to become projectiles. They're going to go through windows. They're going to go through whatever cars are left.
David Sheen is a former first responder who's just back home in Hamilton after a hurricane cleanup around his home in Clearwater near Tampa.
Structures have been weakened by the first hurricane, but in our community, our danger was more from water, not from the winds. This time, it looks like we're going to be more impacted by the winds. And they always say that, you can hide from the winds, but you should run from the water.
As a former fire chief and emergency responder, he's echoing the urgency of leaving the area for anyone thinking of riding out the storm.
I think they're being very foolhardy.
And he says people's spirits are weakened after going through one hurricane and not knowing what to expect from another. But authorities say there's still time to get out of the way.